All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I am VC Pramod. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says government focusing on empowerment and welfare of people so that they can contribute to the national development. 49th meeting of GST Council to be held in New Delhi today. 12 cheetahs from South Africa to arrive at Kuno National Park in Madhya Pradesh today. Maha Shivratri being celebrated across the country today. In Asia Mixed Team Badminton Championships, India enters semifinals, ensuring first medal in continental tournament in Dubai. And in Women's T20 World Cup, India to take on England in group stage match at St. George's Park in South Africa this evening. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that the government is focusing on the empowerment of the poor so that they can contribute to national development. Addressing the Economic Times Global Business Summit in New Delhi last evening, Mr. Modi said the government reimagined how to improve delivery of services to the poor and implementation of welfare schemes.
गरीबों के पास भी बैंक अकाउंट हो, गरीबों को भी बैंक से लोन मिले, गरीब उनके लिए अपने घर और प्रॉपर्टी के राइट्स मिले, उन्हें टॉयलेट, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी और क्लीन कुकिंग फ्यूल या फिर तेज इंटरनेट कनेक्टिविटी मिले, इनकी पहले उतनी जरूरत ही नहीं समझी जाती। इस सोच को बदला जाना, री इमेजिन किया जाना बहुत जरूरी था, जबकि हमारा फोकस गरीबों को एम्पावर करने पर है।
The Prime Minister said the government has so far transferred 28 lakh crore rupees under the direct benefit transfer with zero leakage.
आज से 4 दशक पहले तब के प्रधानमंत्री राजीव गांधी जी ने कहा था कि वेलफेयर के लिए 1 रुपया दिल्ली से भेजते हैं तो बेनिफिशियरी तक पहुंचते पहुंचते वो 15 पैसा हो जाता है। कौन सा पंजा घिसता था मुझे मालूम नहीं है। हमारी सरकार अभी तक अलग स्कीम के तहत डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट ट्रांसफर इन वेलफेयर स्कीम के अंतर्गत 28 लाख करोड़ रुपए ट्रांसफर कर चुकी है। डीबीटी की व्यवस्था को प्राथमिकता दी। आज 1 रुपया दिल्ली से निकलता है, 100 के 100 पैसे उसके पास पहुंचते हैं।
Referring to the theme of this year's summit, Reimagine Business, Reimagine the World, the Prime Minister explained how reimagination came into play when the country gave the current government opportunity to serve in 2014.
2014 में स्थिति ये थी कि लाखों करोड़ों के घोटालों की वजह से देश की साख दांव पर लगी हुई थी। भ्रष्टाचार की वजह से गरीब अपने हक की चीजों के लिए भी तरस रहा था। युवाओं की एस्पिरेशंस परिवारवाद और भाई भतीजावाद की बलि चढ़ रहे थे। पॉलिसी पैरालिसिस की वजह से इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर प्रोजेक्ट्स में बरसों की देरी हो रही थी। ऐसे सोच और अप्रोच के साथ देश का तेजी से आगे बढ़ना मुश्किल था। इसलिए हमने तय किया कि गवर्नेंस के हर सिंगल एलिमेंट को रीइमेजिन करेंगे।
Giving example of government's concept of reimagination, the Prime Minister said more than 100 districts which were considered very backward in 2014 were turned into aspirational districts.
हमने बैकवर्ड के इस कंसेप्ट को रीइमेजिन किया और इन जिलों को एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स बनाया। पहले इन डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में ऑफिसर्स को पनिशमेंट पोस्टिंग के रूप में भेजा जाता था। आज वहां बेस्ट एंड यंग ऑफिसर्स को डेप्यूट किया जाता है। आज सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट, पीएसयू, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट, डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन सभी मिलकर इन डिस्ट्रिक्ट के टर्न अराउंड के लिए पूरी मेहनत से काम कर रहे हैं। इसके कारण हमें बेहतर रिजल्ट भी मिलने लगे और इसका रियल टाइम मॉनिटरिंग हो रहा है। टेक्नोलॉजी का भरपूर उपयोग किया जा रहा है।
Talking about the exponential growth of digitalization in the country, the Prime Minister said today 40% of the world's real-time digital payments take place in India. He said this is the answer to those who question the ability of the poor and marginalized to make digital payments. Mr. Modi said India has shown the world how to convert calamities into opportunities. He said in the last 3 years, the whole world has changed due to COVID pandemic. He said in these years, India has shown the world the true meaning of anti-fragile.
इन 3 वर्षों में पूरा विश्व बदल गया, वैश्विक व्यवस्थाएं बदल गई और भारत भी बदल गया है। बीते कुछ समय में हम सभी ने एंटी फ्रेजाइल के इंटरेस्टिंग कंसेप्ट पर ढेर सारी चर्चाएं सुनी है। एक ऐसा सिस्टम जो न सिर्फ विपरीत परिस्थितियों का मुकाबला करे बल्कि परिस्थितियों का ही उपयोग करके और ज्यादा मजबूत हो जाए, विकसित हो जाए। मैंने जब एंटी फ्रेजाइल कंसेप्ट के बारे में सुना तो सबसे पहले मेरे मन में 140 करोड़ भारतीयों की सामूहिक संकल्प शक्ति की छवि उभरी थी।
The 49th meeting of the GST Council will be held in New Delhi today. To be chaired by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, the meeting is likely to discuss setting up appellate tribunals and mechanisms to curb tax evasion in pan masala and gutka business. These tribunals will have one judicial and one technical member from either the centre or the states to ensure equity in membership. The 49th meeting of the GST Council is being held after the presentation of the Union Budget earlier this month, which offered to extend the 50-year interest-free loan to states for another year to enable their capital spending. Union Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal will visit the Atal Incubation Centre, Sikkim Manipal University Technology Business Incubation Foundation in Majtihar today, on the second day of his 3-day visit to the state. Mr. Goyal reached Sikkim yesterday and chaired meetings with state government officials and entrepreneurs. Our correspondent has the details.
At the SMU Technology Business Incubation Foundation of the Sikkim Manipal Institute of Technology, Union Minister Piyush Goyal will interact with startup founders and students today. Briefing media persons on his review meetings on central schemes and interaction with entrepreneurs in Gangtok yesterday, Mr. Goyal had stressed that Sikkim should aim to increase the current $1 million revenue from organic produce exports to $1 billion by 2030. Highlighting Sikkim's potential to become a sustainable and organic state, he also announced the establishment of an organic product testing facility in the state. Saikat Sarkar from Gangtok for AIR.
External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar called on Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese in Sydney this morning. During the meeting with the Australian Prime Minister, Dr. Jaishankar conveyed the personal greetings of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to him. In a tweet, Dr. Jaishankar said that the discussions reflected the full spirit of both countries' strategic partnership. He apprised the Australian Prime Minister for recent developments. Addressing another event, Dr. Jaishankar said, in today's global landscape, like-minded countries need to work together to de-risk economy, rise to challenges of digital world, and build relationships that serve as stabilizers for economy. The minister said that transformational governance changes underway in India are showing results. 12 cheetahs from South Africa will arrive at Kuno National Park in Madhya Pradesh today. 12 cheetahs include 7 males and 5 females. More from our correspondent.
The first group of 8 Namibian cheetahs arrived at Kuno National Park in Madhya Pradesh on September 17 last year under the ambitious Cheetah Reintroduction Program. The second batch of cheetahs embarked on the journey to Kuno from OR Tambo International Airport in Gauteng yesterday. The aircraft will land at the Gwalior Air Force Base in Madhya Pradesh at 10 a.m. today. The forward journey will be covered in the IAF's Mi-17 helicopters. Union Environment Minister Bhupendra Yadav and Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan will release the cheetahs into their quarantine enclosures. Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar and Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraj Scindia will also present on the occasion. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. Maha Shivratri is being celebrated across the country today with religious fervour and gaiety. Devotees worship Lord Shiva, the destroyer of evil, on the occasion. In Uttar Pradesh, lakhs of devotees are taking holy dip in rivers on the occasion. Administration has made elaborate arrangements at temples across the state. People are also taking holy dip in the Sangam, the confluence of the 3 holy rivers, which marks the end of Magh Mela. A report from our correspondent.
Amid the chants of Har Har Mahadev and Jai Shiv Shambhu, devotees are worshipping Lord Shiva at the various temples across the state.
Har Har Mahadev Shiv Shambhu, Har Har Mahadev Shiv Shambhu.
At the famous Kashi Vishwanath temple in Varanasi, long queues of devotees can be seen from midnight, who has reached from all across the country to worship Lord Shiva on this auspicious day. People are taking holy dip at Sangam, the confluence of river Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati in Prayagraj. After the bath, devotees are offering prayers at different temples of Lord Shiva. The Shiv Mahotsav and Shiv Bharat will also be the center of attraction today. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
President Draupadi Murmu will be on a two-day visit to Tamil Nadu from today. She will grace the Maha Shivratri celebrations organized by the Isha Foundation at Coimbatore. Tomorrow, the President will visit the Defence Services Staff College at Wellington and address the members of the 78th Staff Course. In Asia Mixed Team Badminton Championships, Indian shuttlers reached semifinals after defeating Hong Kong 3-2 and ensured a first-ever medal in the continental tournament in Dubai yesterday. India staged a remarkable comeback after losing the first two matches of the tie against Hong Kong. Men's double pair of Dhruv Kapila and Chirag Shetty and PV Sindhu in women's singles won two matches to level the score. In the decider, Tressa Jolly and Gayatri Gopichand defeated Zhen Hao NG and Wing Yung NG 21-13, 21-12 in the women's doubles to clinch the tie. India will lock horns with China in the semi-final today. In Women's T20 World Cup, India will take on England in group stage match at St. George's Park at Gaborone in South Africa this evening. The match will start at 6:30 p.m. Indian time. Both teams have been unbeaten in the tournament so far. India opened their World Cup campaign by successfully chasing 149 against Pakistan, the highest chase of the tournament so far, before comfortably beating West Indies by 6 wickets. England also thrashed West Indies before defeating Ireland in a low-scoring encounter. In men's cricket, India will resume their first innings at the overnight score of 21 for no loss against Australia on day 2 of the second test of the Border Gavaskar Trophy at Arun Jaitley Stadium in Delhi today. The opening pair of Rohit Sharma with 13 runs and KL Rahul with 4 runs were at the crease when stumps were drawn yesterday. On day 1, Australia, who won the toss and opted to bat, were bundled out for 263 runs. Mohammad Shami scalped 4 wickets, while Ravindra Jadeja and Ravichandran Ashwin took 3 wickets each. India has replaced Suryakumar Yadav with Shreyas Iyer for the second test. India won the first test and now aims for a 2-0 lead, while Australia will be trying to level the 4-match series. And now for a look at today's newspapers, it's over to Subhadra Ramachandran.
Thank you, Pramod. Join the India story. It gives you guarantee of growth, says PM, is the lead in the Times of India. India has set new model of infra development as the lead in the business standard on PM Modi, saying that there is an unbelievable faith in India for the next 25 years. Shinde Group is a real Shiv Sena, says poll body, is a lead in the Hindustan Times. EC recognizes Shinde faction as real Sena. Allot's name and symbol is a lead in the Indian Express. And big blow to Uddhav. EC gives Sena's name and symbol to Shinde faction is a lead in the Times of India. On the Election Commission relying on test of majority to allot name, Shiv Sena and symbol bow and arrow to the group led by CM Eknath Shinde. Almost all papers have carried the story of Chetan Sharma quitting as chairman of the National Selection Committee after row over sting. The former India player was forced to resign after a TV sting showed him talking about players and selection issues. And finally, Godrej buys Raj Kapoor's iconic bungalow for 100 crores is at Story Tribune on how the property is expected to yield 500 crores for the buyer. With that, it's back to you, Pramod.
Thank you, Subhadra. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says government focusing on empowerment and welfare of poor so that they can contribute to the national development. 49th meeting of GST Council to be held in New Delhi today. 12 cheetahs from South Africa to arrive at Kuno National Park in Madhya Pradesh today. Maha Shivratri being celebrated across the country today. In Asia Mixed Team Badminton Championships, India enters semi-finals, ensuring first medal in continental tournament in Dubai. And in Women's T20 World Cup, India to take on England in group stage match at St. George's Park in South Africa this evening. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.